New game! Yes, we're sticking with Chizuru. Because that way we get the voice to lines. Alright, where is the guide? There's the guide. I found it. Chapter 1 should be short. Also, if you weren't here for the wheel last night, the wheel had chosen that after Okita we are going to be doing Hijikata's route. So let's continue our journey with Okita. Winter 1864. In order to find my father with whom I'd lost contact, I, Chizuru Yukimura, visited Kyoto. In the city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called the Shinsengumi, the Fury, a creature with white hair and crimson eyes. Luckily, I was saved from the vicious clutches of the furious spy Okita of the Shinsengumi. Because I had discovered the Shinsengumi secrets, it was proposed that I live with the Shinsengumi men since they were also searching for my father. As such, I was to serve under Hijikata-san as the commander's page, a role I performed proudly, so thus began my life with the Shinsengumi. I heard rumors, well, whispers really, that the Shinsengumi were little more than a bunch of crooked ronin, but my life with them proved otherwise. Their commitment to protect the safety of Kyoto made them the last of a dying breed, true samurai. Okita had a penchant for aloofness, and it was difficult to get a good read on him at first glance, but his swordsmanship was unparalleled, which honored him with the distinction of being the Shinsengumi's captain of the 1st Division. A while ago, I had discovered Okita's secret. He contracted a case of tuberculosis. Day by day, his condition would worsen, soon becoming so unbearable that he could barely rise from his futon. In a desperate measure to regain his strength and wield his sword once more, he drank the water of life to become a fury. At the time, the fate of the shogunate was threatened by the Satsuma. I'm just gonna say Sacho. By the Sacho, which later culminated in an inevitable battle for control of the nation. Our chief at the time, Kondo-san, had an attempted assassination performed on his life, which worked to demoralize our forces in one of our darkest hours. Behind all of this was Kaoru Nagumo, a person who I later realized was my long-lost twin. Okita's loyalty to Kondo-san bloomed to a thirst for revenge for Kaoru's actions. When it came time for the two to battle, Kaoru shot Okita with a silver bullet. Unfortunately, the battle ended in favor of the Sacho, and the Shinsengumi were driven from Kyoto. They set sail for Edo in hope of a new start. A floofness. Alright, where are we this time? Because for Nagakura, that surprised me where we were at the start. Achievement unlocked! 6th story, dude! The fuck? It had been over 4 years since I last set foot in Edo. Hearing the bustle of people passing by in a familiar dialect was a comfort in the chaos of my return. Honestly, I had barely any time to process what had happened in Kyoto, let alone give myself time to reacclimate to the city where I had been raised. Something else entirely had me preoccupied. I softly opened the sliding door, careful so as to not wake up Okita, and I peeked inside to check on him. Soji Okita, a sly, sardonic swordsman who had once been considered the sword of the Shinsengumi. After drinking the water of life given to him by Kaoru Nagumo, he became a fury. We were staying in a hiding place I was about to say doctor. We were staying in a hiding place that Matsumoto-sensei had arranged for us. Hiding place, location where Soji Okita was recuperating for his tuberculosis. Matsumoto-sensei had made arrangements for it and it is located in Sendagaya. For now, this was to be our temporary home. He was still bedridden from his injuries. Moving proved to be difficult for him still, as he would wince at even the slightest provocation. Back in Kyoto, Okita risked his life by jumping in front of the path of a bullet speeding towards me. This sentence has omitted the fact that it was several, not just one. Maybe it is one. No, because the sound effects is... Never mind me. A normal human would have died then and there. It was nothing short of a miracle that he was still alive. I was beyond relieved, of course, that he had lived, but there was something that still bothered me. I looked at him, watching his face twist from the agonizing pain he must have been experiencing. Okita! Gently, I wiped sweat from his forehead. It hurt to see him in so much pain, but all I could do was wait and pray. I was curious about something, however. Although a bullet wound was nothing to scoff at, Okita was a fury. A wound of this severity should have, with his condition, healed a long time ago. Both San-san and Heisuke seemed confused by this as well. I held his soft, trembling fingers in my hands, clasping them tightly for comfort. Sometime later, his eyes slowly fluttered open. He blinked sleepily, and its gaze drifted over to meet mine. Eventually, his eyes gleamed and he nodded. Suddenly, I felt self-conscious and my palms became a little clammy as I shifted my line of sight. How are you feeling, Okita? I tried to keep my voice cheerful.
まあ、昨日よりは楽になったかな。
Are you sure? You aren't just saying that?
信用ないな。君だって一応医者の娘なんでしょ。僕が嘘を言ってるかどうかぐらい見抜けるんじゃないの。
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't trust you or anything, Okita. He had a point. Compared to last night, Okita seemed to be improving in his condition, and even speaking seemed to inflict less of a strain on him. I could appreciate this much at least.
もう日は暮れちゃった。
It has. Do you want to get up?
そうしようかな。寝たきりだと 体もなまっちゃうしね。
I helped steady him as he sat up, conscious of his wounds. He winced as one of them twinged, and then he turned to look at me.
そういえば、千鶴ちゃん、聞きたいことがあるんだけど、いい？
Sure. What is it?
僕が目を覚ましたとき、君が必ずそばにいるのはどうして？
I had expected him to ask about how Kondo-san was doing, or about how any of the other Shinsengumi members were. However, this question blindsided me, and I found myself on the spot without anything to say. However, Okita seemed to take pleasure from my surprise, and he stared into my eyes.
黙ってないで答えてよ。どうして？
You know exactly why, bitch. Well, Oh, we're going with this answer. Is it a bad thing? Is that a bad thing?
別にそんなことは言ってないけど、そんなに僕のことが心配なんだ。
Well, of course. I mean, the reason we're having this conversation about your condition is because of me, Okita. Okita pursed his lips, looking off to the side in a fit of feigned indifference.
君をかばったからね。僕を看病してくれる理由はそれだけなんだ。
What? I couldn't tell if I was imagining things or if he actually seemed put off by my presence. However, I didn't have the time to think of a response.
ま、それならそれでいいけどさ。君、僕の看病にかまけて、ほとんど寝てないんじゃない？
That's not true. I'm resting well.
本当に？
Of course. I mean, I was thinking of a convincing explanation when...
今の言葉は嘘です。
No! He would though. He would absolutely call out my bullshit lying.
雪村君は連日寝る間を惜しんで沖田さんの看病をしています。少しは休息を取るよう沖田さんからも言ってください。
だってさ、休みなよ、千鶴ちゃん。
Okita and Yamazaki had never gotten along. I can't believe you'd both gang up on me like this.
何言ってるのさ。君が悪いんじゃない。いくら僕のことが気になるからって、昼も夜もなくつきっきりなんてさ。
What? Can't stop thinking about you.
ほら、文句言わないで部屋に戻って。子供はさっさと寝なよ。
How many times am I going to be called a bitch throughout this series?
沖田さんのことは俺が見張っている。君も少しは休んでくれ。
Of course I had been worried about how Okita was doing, but I didn't know that my behavior became a cause for concern for them too. I mean, if Yamazaki were the one actually suggesting that I take a breather... Susumu Yamazaki, a member of the Shinsengumi's Watch Division, which is the center of its covert operations. His sleuthing skills pair with his skill as a medic, which were honed under the guidance of Matsumoto. I think I will rest for a little bit then. Please call for me if anything happens. I was almost 2 steps out of the door when I got the sense something was off. Okita's eyes rolled up into his head and he collapsed onto the floor unconscious. Okita! I immediately bolted to him, lowering myself to the ground to try and lift him up, but he moaned unintelligibly, and his breath was labored. Labored? Labored. Yamazaki! Okita's!
雪村君、ここを頼む。俺は松本先生を呼んでくる。
Okay. No sooner had I nodded my head before Yamazaki dashed out of the room. Hang in there, Okita. The doctor will be here soon. All I could do was tuck him back under the covers and wait silently.
先生、どうだったのですか？沖田さんの容体は。
傷が開いたわけじゃないから心配はいらんよ。大方、体力も戻っていないのに無理して起き上がったりしたんだろう。倒れたのはそのせいだ。
Really? What a relief. I let out an uneasy sigh. Even if he was okay, I still regretted allowing Okita to even think. What? I still regretted allowing Okita of even thinking about exerting himself. If only I realized he was fatigued. As I tossed these thoughts about in my mind, Yamazaki's brows furrowed.
松本先生、なぜ沖田さんの傷は今に至るまで癒えないのでしょう。羅刹となった身であれば、たとえ銃で傷を負わされてもすぐに塞がってしまうはずですが。
こうじゃないかと見当をつけてはいるが、あくまで私の想像に過ぎんぞ。
構いません。お聞かせください。
Matsumoto sensei looked at the two of us and he silently nodded before speaking up.
お前さんたちも知っての通り、波の武器で羅刹の体に傷を負わせることはできん。
The spot where Okita had been shot was a small one. As long as he wasn't shot in the heart, it shouldn't have affected him as much as this had.
しかし、沖田君の傷は治っておらん。ということは、沖田君を撃った鉄砲の弾に何か仕掛けがあるとしか考えられんな。
The bullet?
そういえば沖田さんを撃った弾は銀でできていたと聞いています。
Silver, a precious metal that acts as a poison to Furies. Somehow it counteracts their regenerative abilities, thus making them vulnerable to normal weaponry. Alright. Silver? Why would they use such a valuable metal?
もしかすると、それが原因かもしれんな。羅刹にも弱点があったってことか。
Other than sunlight. So, what does that mean for Okita? Matsumoto sensei turned to face the door of Okita's room.
幸いにして命に別状はない。沖田君の体力を信じるしかないな。
What?
なんとかしてやりたいが、私の医術はあくまでも人間用なんでな。行動さんなら、もしかしたら羅刹の傷を癒す方法を知ってるかもしれんが。
Right. Of course. My father had been doing Fury research.
どうした、雪村君。
Maybe... There may be some information about the Furies in the house where I grew up. I mean, my father did his Fury research here under orders of the Shogunate, right?
そういえば、君の家は江戸の外れにあるんだったな。
Maybe I'll find something useful. Alright, I'll head over there tomorrow. I turned to look at Yamazaki. My time in Kyoto was often under the close watch and control of the Shinsengumi. But this had to do with Okita's health. Neither Yamazaki nor Hijikata could possibly reject my initiative to help him, could they? It seemed like Yamazaki contemplated the situation to himself, stroking his chin intently.
わかった。ならば俺も同行しよう。
Yes, we're taking Best Boy with us. Are you sure that's alright?
君や沖田さんの警護も俺の役目だ。副長からそう命じられている。
But then who's going to watch after Okita? My brain just made a connection right now. I just realized how strange this situation really is. Ha! Alright.
用心するに越したことはあるまい。山崎君に同行してもらいなさい。君らが戻ってくるまでの間、私が沖田君を見ていよう。
Okay. Please take care of Okita. We'll be as thorough as possible and we'll return here as soon as we get something.
よし。それでは今日はもう休むとしよう。明日早朝に出ることにするぞ。
Understood.